Okay, this is part 4, building passenger cars. Here, what you see here is a piece of 3/4 thick by 120 inches long, 10 feet plywood. Now you can buy this. You got to go to really good. You can't get this at the Home Depot. Forget it. You got to go to a good full service lumber yard. You got to go to some place where they have it. Call up around. It's not cheap. It's 7 ply thick. It's very good exterior grade A, C plywood. In other words, A is a grade, top grade, C is a knotty on the bottom. That's on the bottom. And I had them cut it up, ripped for me in 3 equal pieces, which were bigger than what I needed. And then what I did is I took a piece of aluminum angle here and I set it up perfectly on here. And then I had a router with a ball bearing on the bottom. A cutter has a ball bearing on the bottom that followed it and made this perfectly perpendicular. You want this to be pretty straight. And that, you just can't rely on a saw cut to do that. So the router makes that nice and flat all the way down, both sides exactly. In this case it's 15 and 9/16, which is perfect. Now I have a template underneath here that's going to follow the ball bearing, and I have to cut out notches on each side to accept the doors, because the doors, on the way the Railroad Supply design is, it has to be in a little bit, and this area here on the edge has to be flush to the inside of this so that the aluminum hits up against it. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to cut this. Here we go. By the way, I got a different handle on here. The DW, which stands for DeWalt 618 router, is a 2 1/4 horsepower router, and I have the entire kit where I have a D handle. You saw me earlier with the plunge, and then I have just an ordinary 2-handle router bit, and plus all the other attachments that go with it. It's pretty nice setup, and it's a top of the line router, and has variable speed, soft start. You'll hear when I start it starts slowly. I go into the template. Slowly back. And that now will accept the door. And now this part of the door is now flush. I actually make it a little bit out, so it has a little bit of a gap here. And the reason for it being is that almost inevitably, anytime you're running, it's going to rain. Cars are going to get wet, and water has at least a chance to get out that way, little holes here and there. So, and it gives you plenty of clearance. So that's how that goes. Now, generally on a Railroad Supply kit, you do get the wood already made, and it's but this part isn't cut out, so you have to cut these out on both corners. Now, if you were making an observation car, which I will be making, because I had 3 sets of plywoods. I'm using 2 for an ordinary car now, and then 1 for an observation. An observation car, you want to cut out about 2 inches by 5 inches of square out of here, because then it looks a little bit nicer, and you see, because actually on a prototype there was a drop-down door there that lifted up and it revealed the steps. So in order to simulate that, you want to cut it out a little bit so it looks a little nicer. And then I generally make an aluminum end sill for it. And of course the railing and whatnot. We'll get into that when we get to the observation. But I'm going to do all 3 sets, and then I'm going to do the other end. Do all 3 sets, 3 plywoods, and then I'm going to make the next phase of this construction. I'm going to make the underframe carriage, which is made out of wood also, and glued and screwed down through the top and so on. And when that's done, the next phase is to put fiberglass matting on, actually fiberglass at the top, which gives it strength, and furthermore gives it some wear resistance for people's feet. And I'm going to look into getting some Rhino liner material you put on a pickup truck, and I'm going to see if I can put that on here and make it so that it's wear resistant for people's feet, rather than put a rubber matting on. I thought that was a pretty good idea, and I'll do that when I'm all done painting it. But that's that part of it, and then after that, then we're going to put the doors on and start putting everything together, and then it'll come together soon. So we'll see you on the next step, which would be probably making the underframe. We'll see you then.